The flickering neon sign outside my office window cast a sickly green glow across my desk, turning the half-empty bottle of rye into an emerald promise of oblivion. It was the kind of night that clung to Los Angeles like a sweaty, desperate dame, all smoke and whispers. My name is Jack Rourke, and I make my living staring into the abyss, hoping it doesn't blink. I wasn't always a private investigator. Once I wore a badge, a symbol of hope in this city of broken dreams. But hope is a fragile thing in this town, as easy to crush as a cigarette under a polished shoe. My fall from grace was swift, brutal, and left me with nothing but a burning need for justice and a thirst that even a gallon of cheap whiskey couldn't quench. The knock on the door was hesitant, like a moth fluttering against a grimy window pane. I knew the type. Someone desperate enough to seek me out, yet scared of what they might find. The aroma of cheap perfume and even cheaper desperation preceded her entrance. She was a vision in a scarlet dress, the kind that screamed trouble in a voice husky from too many cigarettes and late nights. "Mr. Rourke," she breathed, her voice like silk over broken glass. "I need your help. It's about my husband." Los Angeles, the city of angels, they called it. But beneath the shimmering facade of Hollywood glamour and sunshine, there lurked a darkness as deep and unforgiving as the Pacific depths. In the heart of this urban jungle, amidst the symphony of clanging streetcars and the mournful cries of newsboys hawking their wares, I ran my operation. My office, a dingy space above a Chinese laundry, always smelled faintly of stale noodles and despair. The woman, Veronica Lake, was a fading starlet clinging to the fringes of Hollywood's cruel spotlight. Her story spilled out in a torrent of tears and accusations. Her husband, a two-bit gambler with eyes full of ambition and a soul blacker than the ink staining his fingers, had gotten mixed up with the wrong crowd. The kind of men who wouldn't hesitate to paint the sidewalk red with your lifeblood if it meant turning a profit. "He's in over his head, Mr. Rourke," she sobbed, her carefully applied mascara making black streaks down her porcelain skin. "He owes them money, a lot of money. They said if he doesn't pay, they'll kill him." Her words hung in the air, heavy with fear and the bitter tang of desperation. I'd heard it all before, seen the look of a cornered animal in the eyes of countless souls who dared to dance with the devil in this city. But there was something about Veronica's plea, a flicker of genuine terror in her eyes that tugged at the frayed edges of my conscience. The gambler's name was Mickey the Shark Lake, a bottom feeder who preyed on the weak and desperate. His reputation preceded him, a card sharp, a cheat, a man who'd sell his own mother down the river for a fistful of dollars. I had tangled with his kind before, felt the cold steel of their gaze and the sting of their betrayal. Finding him wouldn't be easy. He was a phantom, a whisper in the alleys, a shadow flitting through the underbelly of Los Angeles. My investigation led me to the Blue Moon Club, a den of iniquity nestled in the heart of the city. The air was thick with cigarette smoke and the stench of spilled liquor. Jazz music, sultry and seductive, pulsed through the air, a siren song luring the lost and the lonely into its embrace. I found the owner, a greasy character with slicked back hair and a smile that never reached his eyes, lounging in a back room counting his ill-gotten gains. "Mickey Lake." He chuckled, his voice like gravel grinding under a boot heel. "Haven't seen him in days, Seamus. The shark's gone belly up, if you catch my drift." He flashed a gold tooth in a grin that promised trouble, and I knew he was lying. Mickey Lake was still in this town, and I was determined to find him before his debts were settled in blood. The chase led me through a labyrinth of rain-slicked streets, the city lights reflecting off the wet asphalt like shattered diamonds. I could feel the pulse of the city thrumming around me, a relentless beat that mirrored the urgency of my pursuit. Every shadow seemed to whisper Mickey Lake's name, every darkened alleyway a potential trap. A tip from a shifty informant led me to a flophouse on the wrong side of the tracks. The stench of despair and cheap disinfectant clung to the air like a shroud. I burst through the door, my .38 special leading the way, only to find the room empty, save for a half-smoked cigarette smouldering in an ashtray and a single playing card, the Queen of Hearts, lying face down on the floor. It was a message, a taunt from the shadows, reminding me that I was always one step behind.